welcome back. Bringing a new puppy home. What should they be eating on the first day? I'm so excited because yesterday our newest family member, Matteo, joined the family. Say hi, Matteo, if you can. If you're thinking about adopting a puppy, there's a lot to think about and some planning to do to make sure they settle in as quickly and easily as possible. This episode 1 of the Puppy Diet 101, and I'm not only super excited to introduce this little guy, but also to introduce the incredibly talented and passionate Colleen O'Day. Colleen is highly accomplished and she's a nationally accredited dog trainer and CEO of Manners and More Companion Dog Training. She's going to share with me her top 3 things to help introduce him to our fur family. I'm going to go through the do's and don'ts when it comes to his first meals and give you an easy and practical recipe to settle him in and a quick fix if you end up with a dreaded squirty bum. So, Matteo, let's get into it. Now's no time for napping. Well, this little man arrived yesterday and we created as safe and quiet, stress-free space for him as we possibly could. Hence no YouTube starting on day 1, hey Matteo. He had a 2-hour flight and arrived to be pulled out of his little crate by 2 people he'd never met before. Then there was the car trip home and the introduction to his new surroundings and all of his new siblings. All in all, the day was pretty overwhelming for him. So I pre-planned the most soothing and easiest to digest meals for him to allow a little tummy just to settle down. Hey, baby. Now, I'm all about the food, as you would know, and I'm not a behaviouralist or puppy trainer in any way. So I called in Colleen O'Day, an expert in her field, to give me the 3 most important things to do when introducing a new puppy to an established family group. I want to make sure little Matteo settles in for our family with the least amount of stress possible. Colleen and I recorded our virtual consultation, so everyone watching this can benefit as well from her 17 plus years of puppy training knowledge and wisdom as well. Well, today I am so excited to introduce a wonderful colleague of mine, a very talented lady by the name of Colleen O'Day. Hello, and I'd like to say
hi.
How excited I am once again to have you here. Colleen has 17 plus years of experience working with dogs. She's highly accomplished and nationally accredited dog trainer. I'll stop talking, Colleen. If you want to just keep introducing yourself, that'd be great. You know your credentials far better than I.
Lots of credentials, but I think the most important thing, given your journey at the moment and possibly the journey of a lot of other people, is, how is it that you're going to introduce Matteo to the rest of your fur family? Because you've got how many other dogs? 4, I thought so. Yeah. So, we really are talking about a multi dog household that we're bringing another puppy into, which, can present its challenges. So are you happy for me to just jump in on those 3?
Love you to jump in. Please fire away.
Cool. Okay. So unfortunately, we've only got a certain amount of time. So I've had to pick, my top 3, and there's a gazillion things that I could talk to you about. So, when we bring a new puppy into an existing, our fur family, if that's what we want to call them, it can be absolutely super exciting, but it is what I think is quite a delicate process. So we want to ensure that the transition is going to be smooth for not only the new puppy, but for the existing dogs. Yeah, and for you guys as well. You don't need the stress if it doesn't go right. And here's the thing is you get one chance to get this as right as possible. Okay, so I'm also going to assume, as we're talking about this, that we have a household with no existing canine behavioural issues, okay? Because when we do, that's going to bring about a whole different set of things that we might do. So we're just going to assume that they're all happy, behaviourally happy, yada, yada. My number 1 thing is take it slow, okay? So I often think about this transition from Matteo's perspective. He's arrived, his world as he knows it has literally been turned upside down. Everything that he's known for the first 8 weeks of his life are no more, right? And imagine you landing in a foreign country, not knowing anything and not knowing the language, how challenging that might possibly be. So that's how I try to think about it. But also this can be overwhelming for not just the puppy, but it can be overwhelming for the dogs that already exist in your household. So my thing is really take your time to introduce them gradually and allow each pet to adjust to the new dynamics that you're bringing into the household. As I said, you get one chance to make a positive first impression. Don't rush the process. When I introduced Bear into our household with Storm, I did it so gradually because Storm did have a lot of behavioural needs and requirements that it literally, I governed them for the first 2 months of their life. Didn't mean that they didn't interact directly, but that's how long I carried the process through. I think it's really important that you ensure that you've got proper containment. And this is really for Matteo. This is for the new puppy that comes into the household. It's crucial that he has the ability to feel safe and comfortable. Okay. The way in which I've done that in my household is I've set up barriers. So I've got pens, and you can buy those at like Bunnings, child gates, things like that. I've had installed all over the place to be able to give me containment. You can also use large crates. You can go to Kmart and get pens, whatever the case is, right? But containment is essential. We want to make sure that that area is equipped with all the things that Matteo needs. So we want to be able to have water, a bed, toys, and down at the very end, we'd want to have a toileting area, because we don't want to have the toileting area where the puppy sleeps and eats. We want to have a bit of division there. So what we want to allow Matteo to do is to become familiar with his new surroundings. And if you find that he's happy and he's chilled, then it might be time to move on to some introductions. But before we do that, I like to make sure that we've got some food treats. Now, I'm very particular about the type of food treats that I use. Treats are a really great way for you guys to be able to encourage positive interaction between your puppies. In saying that, there's one rule: do not get a piece of food between two puppies, okay, or two dogs. Just don't go there ever, right? Remember, things are really changing, so dogs may not behave like they would normally because you just changed the dynamics. So choose treats that are really easy to chew and that are appealing to puppies. So my treats of choice is popcorn and, exactly. Super nice and smelly, but small. Okay. I love the Ziwi because, again, you can break it up, super smelly, the stuff from Eureka. Bearing in mind, guys, I don't get any kickbacks when talking about these. I'm just giving you my treats of choice. I like something that is semi-dried or moist because it's really quick and easy for the puppies to be able to chew. Okay, so what we're looking to do here is to reinforce calm, friendly behaviour during introductions, all right? And that's what we want to use treats for. Remember, don't get the treats between the two dogs. So those are kind of my top three things. And then you've actually got, I'm going to sneak one more in, Audra. I'm going to sneak in my process for introductions, okay? Regardless of whether it's a puppy and an older dog or two puppies or two older dogs, one rule always remains, and that is that the first introduction is only 3 seconds. So let's say you bring Matteo home. He's in this lovely area of containment that you've created for him. He's super comfortable. Which of your 4 dogs are you going to choose to do the initial introduction?
It's always Chica, the old one. She's the nurturer of the pack. Yeah, she's definitely
beautiful.
She's definitely the mother hen. Yeah. She's quiet too. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, and that's an important thing. So, we're talking about 4 dogs already existing in your household. Some people might only have one, so you have to just work with the one that you've got. But where you've got choice, take the most socially appropriate dog to form the first introduction. Now, let's say that Chica has been out in the backyard or she's been in a different room as to what Matteo has been in. Then what I want you to do is grab one of those food treats straight to Chica's nose, and I want a little walk towards the pen. We do not want dogs rushing towards the pen. Remember, we've got to make this comfortable for Matteo. So I would love a little walk up to the pen. At the same time, you can be kind of looking at, well, what is Matteo doing? Is he showing interest, right? And interest would be looking at Chica, might be sniffing the air, versus turning his back, looking sideways, sniffing the ground, exhibiting displacement behaviours. That might tell us that, okay, we're not going to go straight up to the pen yet. We'll wait till he begins to solicit attention. It's the same as people. When you think about the way that we meet and greet somebody we've never met before, yeah? I'm a hugger when it comes to people that I know. But if I don't know you, don't come up and hug me, right? And I feel like it's paramount the same with our dogs, okay? And then if everything's looking okay, you might then let them have a little nose sniff, 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then I want you to grab one of those treats for Chica and I want you to toss it in the opposite direction. We've got to give them a breather and a break. And I think that's sensible because we can't just assume that everything's going to be okay. So Chica's off getting her treat. You can be checking out what's Matteo doing. You might toss a treat over the other side for him as well. Okay, and then we'll go for another 3-second greet. And if that's okay, then you might build up to 5. All right. And again, it doesn't matter which dog, all of your dogs, I think that that's the way that they should greet. 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Start watching, what is Matteo doing? Is he getting fatigued by this? Has he lost interest or is he, really super happy to engage? And if that's the case, then you might allow a bit of actual one-on-one. But you've got to gauge the body language of the puppies. Okay, puppies get tired really easily. So in puppy school, right, lots of people would naturally think that puppies just want to have big rambunctious play. But as we see in puppy school every weekend, that's actually not the case at all, yeah? They like to have very short, fleeting interactions and then they'll go off and do their own thing and then they might come back, yeah? A lot of dogs are the same as well. So we want short, positive interactions as much as we can. And you're there that if you think something's not looking okay, you're going to interrupt before it turns south. Ideally, that's what we want to do. We don't want to be telling the dogs or the puppy off for anything, okay? Because especially for Matteo, he needs to know that you're going to protect him, that you're going to keep him safe. So just thinking about calm, soft, wiggly body, soliciting attention, those are usually the things that give me the thumbs up that we can let them have a play.
Brilliant, Colleen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Look, I have a lot of people in the States that watch this channel. Maybe you'd like to have a little mention about your virtual puppy school.
Yeah, so I do a very one-of-a-kind puppy school. So I've been running puppy school for nearly 17 years and I've seen a lot, experienced a lot of puppies and a lot of people, yeah? So I'd like to think we've got a pretty good grasp on what it is that people need and what the hopes and goals and dreams are for their puppies. So part of this program is that I actually have a virtual puppy school, if you would want, or a virtual academy, whatever we want to talk about it, because I could only take so many puppies and everybody kept saying, we want to come to your classes. So I built the virtual component. So I now have the ability to be able to take people on no matter where they are. Yeah, so I have a lot of clients that are over on the East Coast. I'd love some international clients. That would be amazing. But what the virtual component allows me to do is to help people raise their puppy at home. So we've got puppy school, which is great. We can teach you to do A, B, and C. But it doesn't actually teach you how to live at home and deal with the things that you deal with every single day. And that's what the virtual puppy school does. I love to keep people in this program for 6 months because there's an awful lot of stuff that is going to happen in the first 6 months of your life with the puppy that you're probably not aware of. So when we think about fear periods, when we think about, one of my favourite is I love to teach people my idea of what their first leash walk should be. Yeah. We want to be thinking about, okay, well, what happens when we go to a new place? Let's say, and here in WA, we have our big hardware stores, which are called Bunnings, and lots of people love to put their dog in a trolley, their puppy in a trolley and go to Bunnings and meet lots of people. I'm not opposed to it, but I am opposed to it in a critical developmental period, and most people don't know that. Yeah. So this is all the really cool stuff that I actually get to teach people and help them be really, really super knowledgeable and set themselves and the puppy up for, the next 10 to 15 years of their life. And the cool thing about the virtual program is these guys actually get to come and join me for group calls. They get to come and submit videos. We've got a gazillion resources for people to be able to absorb of all the things that I know they're going to go through. So it's a really cool program.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. And Matteo and I most definitely will be enrolling. Fabulous.
Absolutely,
That's brilliant.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
welcome.
those tips. And I can't wait for him to land. I'm so excited. And watch the dynamic unfold. It should be fun and games with 4-dash. Well, 5-dash sounds bark, bark, bark,
Yeah.
bark.
Yep. Well, let me know how it goes. You know,
I
if
will.
we need anything, if there's any problems or you're not sure about something, please do ask. So,
I will. Thanks so much, Colleen. That's fabulous.
okay.
I'll see you later.
See ya.
Hey, while you're at it, please like and subscribe if you want more of this sort of in-depth content about your puppy or your adult dogs. Well, here we are. As I mentioned, we're on day 2 of Matteo being in our family, and I'll recap on his first 4 meals that he ate yesterday. Day 1, he arrived at 7 a.m, so all of his meals needed to be planned and pre-made. So what's the go-to for a warm comfort food, I hear you asking? Well, chicken soup, of course, but not just any old chicken soup. I knew the breeder had fed him raw chicken, so I knew this would be a pretty safe bet. Cooked foods are easy to digest after a really stressful event like he went through yesterday, and obviously I wanted to set him up for success. Runny poop is common in highly stressed dogs, and it's not only inconvenient for you, it can lead to dehydration pretty quickly with a puppy of his size. The soup's high moisture content makes sure that you can avoid this situation. Now, first up, I need to mention here how many meals a day we give puppies. Most say 3 meals a day, but because of his size, and I firmly believe 4 is a better fit for him. So for the next couple of months, it's 4 meals a day. Episode number 2 of Puppy Diet 101, I'll go in depth into the correct amounts to feed and give you the formula so it's easy and you don't have to worry about anything no matter what. If your puppy weighs just a kilo like Matteo does, or 5 or 10 kilos, just remember 3 to 4 meals a day spread out evenly. Now, my foolproof soothing chicken soup recipe for his first 4 meals is so simple to make. Okay, it's really, really simple. It's simply 3 ingredients to make this beautiful chicken soup. There's chicken breast, which I've chopped, as you can see, into quite large pieces. Some pink Himalayan sea salt. And this is the containers that I use for Matteo's side. This actually holds exactly 100 grams of the soup. Fantastic. Oh, don't forget, right on there as well. That way you'll have, you'll know what's going on in your freezer. Why Himalayan salt? This salt contains trace minerals. Remember, it's the raw, natural, unrefined pink salt that is mined, not farmed from seawater like plain white table salt or kosher salt is. It gets its pink hue from trace minerals in the salt like magnesium, potassium and some calcium. It also helps to balance out his electrolytes, something he gets lost in very stressful situations. This is why electrolytes are vital for post-exercise recovery for athletes. And our 1 kilo puppy was on a high adrenaline caused by fear during the massive life change. Basically, he ran a marathon yesterday. Look, a bigger dog, you can double this recipe. I actually like to do this so that way I've got this beautiful chicken soup always on hand if any of my dogs become ill. Okay, this is where you need to monitor their poop very closely. Day 1 will be a bit messy. It will be soft. Meals number 3 and 4 is where we start to firm things up for him. He currently weighs in at a whopping 1 kilo, as I've mentioned, so he needs a minimum 10% of his body weight in food per day, spread out over those 4 meals. Again, episode number 2 covers the figures and explains the formula for you. Okay, so here is what 100 grams of food portioned out into 25 gram 4 meal servings for little Matteo. So all I've done is just separated them out, as you can see, popped it in the microwave just to warm it through. There's 25 grams of meat here. There isn't the broth included, so all we do is add the broth as well on top. That's just to keep his hydration up. There we go, like so. So then we've got our lovely chicken soup. Now the only thing that we're going to change up on day 1 is the last 2 meals of the day. We're going to add a tiny little pinch of this. This is the psyllium husks that I've mentioned, these ones here. You can get these at any supermarket. And when I say a tiny little pinch, I'm talking like that much. It's tiny, little tiny pinch. And just sprinkle it over the top like that. Has no flavour, so it's not going to put the puppy off. There we go, like so. That's the only 2 changes. Only 2 meals that have been changed, rather. This soothing and simple chicken soup is the go-to when bringing a new puppy home, no matter what size or breed they are. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a brilliant thing to have in your freezer for those times when your dog eats something that doesn't agree with them. Remember, if you're sick, what's the first thing you're told to eat? Chicken soup. It's a warm hug for the soul. Well, there is something I do need to mention and why it makes day 1 so much easier for us. I know what Matteo and his brother Amara were eating before we got them. And in this case, Matteo and Amara's breeder weaned all of her puppies onto a hybrid diet. A hybrid diet is just that. It's a diet of raw meats, raw meaty bones, goat's milk, and some puppy kibble. So all we need to do is stick initially to the proteins she's fed the puppies from 4 weeks of age. If you don't know what your puppy was eating before you got them, that's okay as well. But that's another topic for another video, as the transition for you guys is a little bit different. Well, because I do know exactly what the breeder has weaned him onto solid-wise, the plan for the next couple of weeks is to continue with the foods he's been eating, but gradually bring him over to a more complete and balanced diet. Day one's chicken soup was simply the perfect way to get him settled. It's in no way a balanced meal, it's no way complete, it's just a soothing introduction into his new family environment. Hey, wake up Matteo, don't sleep on the job already. For more in-depth dive into puppy diets, check out our online course on feeding your puppy the right way. This online course covers all styles of feeding, including kibble and pre-made raw, cooked and tinned foods. It's completely self-paced and has all the resource files you'll need. Just download them and keep them handy. Okay, Matteo, you and your super cute spots have been the little superstar I knew you'd be. Time to knock off now and have the rest of your nap. So that's day one, a wrap up. He's had a massive day yesterday and a pretty big one today too. And today marks the beginning of a balanced diet transition plan. If you've got a new puppy like Matteo, thinking about getting a puppy, or you've had your puppy for a few weeks already, please hit that like button and subscribe as well so you can get notified and keep following along on Matteo's journey to becoming a healthy, raw-fed member of our family. I've popped all of Colin's details below as well, and a link to her unimpeded puppy school that she offers in person, as well as her virtual puppy academy. Yes, no matter where you are based, you too can enrol in your puppy into her brilliant program. She's certainly helped us.